Namo. Thanks for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The first mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I vow to cultivate compassion and learn ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to condone any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, or in my way of life. For Dharma lessons, we're reading Ajahn Munindo's book, Unexpected Freedom. We're continuing in chapter 1 with a section, Being Careful. Ajahn Tate's advice was, all you've got to do is remember more quickly. I kept making an effort during that vasa, and I was very diligent, although by this time I was in such a state of despair, occasional terror, distress, and thorough unpleasantness, that it really was just a question of survival. At the end of the vasa, I wasn't well at all. They decided I needed to go down to Bangkok for a medical checkup and to rest. In fact, I ended up in hospital. I saw Ajahn Tate before I left, and he gave me a third significant and helpful teaching. He gave it with such kindness and wisdom. He wasn't just being nice to me. He was so aware of the nature of this path. He said, be careful. I still remember this vividly. He said, the place you are at within yourself is very vulnerable. Take care. I often begin our evening meditation at Ratanagiri by guiding us together into our inner settling by saying, carefully paying attention. I think in many cases we could substitute the word carefulness for mindfulness. In the poor condition that I was in when I saw Ajahn Tate, his words were just what was needed. I was so unhappy that I could very easily have been unkind to myself or heedless. You know what it's like when you get a little miserable. You start blaming, thinking, well, someone has done something wrong. It's very difficult to feel unhappy without feeling that somebody, probably including oneself, has done something wrong. If we are feeling unhappy, what is called for is a willingness to simply be with that unhappiness. If we're not careful, we say something's wrong, though it doesn't really help to say that. We say it either inwardly or outwardly. This projecting of blame is a consequence of having made an inner mistake of misperceiving our unhappiness, sadness, or suffering as being something wrong. We don't receive it just as it is. We don't acknowledge it and feel it, allowing it to happen. We don't have the knowingness to see it as activity taking place in awareness. Because we don't have that perspective, we struggle to do something about our suffering, to deal with it in some way. To say that something has gone wrong and that it's somebody's fault is a heedless way of dealing with our unpleasant experiences. The habit of consistently doing this is a symptom of what I call the compulsive judging mind. Ajahn Tate's parting gift to me, be careful, alerted me to this intuitively, if not conceptually. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.